Hi, everyone. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee here. I thought this would be a good time to kind of run through what I think you should expect. First off, when we look at the satellite loop this morning, it's nice and dry across all of the Northeast. So we're not going to have any weather problems today. It's a beautiful Friday. There's a nice breeze. Temperatures will be in the 70s to around 80. Just a really nice finish to the week. And I think Saturday, no problems other than that we'll probably have increasing clouds as an onshore flow wind that is a wind off the ocean begins to take hold. And of course, here you have Hermine, which is now inland and moving northeast. So we're just going to be focused now at this point on two things. One is the ultimate track, which I think will be where it moves along or just inland of the coast, moves off the North Carolina coast during Saturday morning. And then gradually, as it moves northeastward, it slows down to a grinding halt somewhere out here. It's just going to do a loop, and it may take a few days, and this thing may be sitting around for quite a while. So I think the best approach is that I'm to prioritize what is the most important thing and the most important worry, and I think by far that is going to be coastal flooding. So this is the National Weather Service prediction for storm surge, including the tide heights in feet. So this is what we're looking at into Sunday afternoon. And I want to emphasize that because we're dealing with something that's going to stall out or loop and sit very close to us for a number of days, we're talking about many high tide cycles that we're going to be going through starting on Sunday, and I think taking us at least through Tuesday. So that would imply at least 6 high tides that we're going to have to get through. And the problem is that with the winds the way they are going to be, a lot of this water is just going to keep piling on. And by the way, these heights do not include waves. Okay, so for the area, it's a general 3-foot surge that runs from coastal Rhode Island into coastal Connecticut, and then it increases to 5 feet for the most of Long Island Sound, to the west of Mattatuck, Cutchogue, going all the way back into westernmost Long Island Sound toward New York City. Along the South Shore and to the east, we're talking about tidal surges running at about 3 feet above normal. And this continues up and down the entire New Jersey coast and into Delaware Bay and into coastal Delaware, with a 5-foot surge possible as you go into Delaware Bay and into the lower parts of the Delaware River. So I honestly believe that this is the biggest priority with regards to what we're going to get out of this. Here's a close-up of North Jersey, and you can see there are some also how the 5-foot surges also get into parts of Staten Island and into the East River and over into the Bronx. Okay, in case that is your interest. And of course, there's a 3-foot surge here for the South Shore of Long Island. With regards to the rest of New England, you can see just as a point of interest that the greater surges are also, there's going to be some 5-foot surges forecast for coastal eastern New England, because this is kind of a weird setup in terms of what we're dealing with. We do not see looping storms that often in our backyard that sit around for days and days. And I just want to show you real quick in terms of what the some of the computer models are doing. I think wind is the next issue to deal with on the priority scale. I think it's going to be an issue for the coast more than it is for inland spots. And when I show you why, if you look here, this is the wind field. The green would be where the sustained gales are. So I'll just back it up on, this is the NAM model from last night, which was a little closer to the coast. It does bring gales just about to the coastlines of Long Island and New Jersey, the sustained winds. Certainly gusts will be above gale force, but it becomes much less of an issue as you go further inland. So I think for inland areas, wind here is not going to be a big deal because we are not dealing with, at this point, something that's going to come on land and make landfall. Now, I just really quick show you the GFS wind profile, and then we'll talk about the rain. The GFS has a more aggressive wind profile. We are now, this is for Saturday, going into Sunday. And you can see the gales, strong gales and sustained winds along the coastline. The GFS would imply 40 to 50 mile an hour sustained wind, 40 to 50 knot sustained winds along the New Jersey coast and touching the south shore coasts of Long Island. Not impossible. I'm not going to rule it out. It has a deeper system here, so I don't know if that's reflecting some sort of non-tropical injection of energy. We'll see. And you can see how the model just kind of keeps it here. We're now into Wednesday, and this thing is still sitting out offshore, and that's why I think coastal flooding is the biggest deal. Now, with respect to rain, I'm not really very bullish on rain at this point on any of the models, showing very little in terms of rain. The GFS has very little rainfall for much of the area except extreme southern New Jersey and maybe extreme eastern Long Island, which get into about an inch of rain. The NAM model is more aggressive with rainfall, and I'll show you that real quick. And it has, basically half-inch to 1.5 inch amounts across Long Island, southern Connecticut through New Jersey, and some heavier amounts in the southernmost New Jersey. I think rain here is a low priority worry, because unless we wind up with some renegade band coming in and sitting over you for hours and hours that produces 6, 7, or that produces 6, 7, or 8 inch amounts. I'm not really too worried about that at this point. We are still a lot of areas, especially Long Island, bone dry, down by over a foot of rain. Some areas still down by 6 inches or more of rain in New Jersey, North Jersey. So I think rain here is a low priority issue. So just to review very quickly, coastal flooding, the biggest problem. The second thing is the wind along the coast. The third issue, and probably the least important issue to worry about at this point, is the rain. We will continue to update you on Hermine and its impacts on our area for right through this entire event.